So let's start today's session. And first of all, what we are going to discuss? Mostly we are going to discuss claim-based authentication in our application. But before that, let me explain you how we can add roles to a user. Means we have already created this edit user page, and from this edit user page, we need to give here options to manage the roles. Means whatever the roles this particular user, you can see this is the username, first name, last name, right? Whatever the username. That in this page, we need to provide one section called manage roles. Whatever the roles are already assigned, that list of roles are we want to display here, right? Already assigned roles, that role name or the role list we want to display here. Also, we need to provide one button for managing the role. So once the user or whoever the user managing these roles and all this functionality, once you click on this manage roles button, it should open this page. And inside this page, whatever the roles are already selected, those should comes with the check boxes, and here you can add or modify the roles. Means you can select this one, you can unselect this one, right? Whatever you want to do, you can do it. And then once you do the changes, you can click on the update button. So let us see how we can do this. Currently, if you look at the example, okay, let me run the application. Right. So currently, if you go to manage user section, so this is my edit user page, and here you can see manage roles functionality is there. But now you can see this manage roles button, it is not working. So this manage roles button currently we have not provided. So let us proceed and provide these things, right? So in our administrator controller, so this is going to be edit user action methods. And inside, if you go to the action method, this is the view which is representing this thing. Currently, you can see we have provided this manage roles option, but we have not implemented, right, which action method is going to handle these things. Clear? Clear?
Yes, sir.
So let us proceed and see how you can handle this. And guys, remember, already we have the database, and already we have the ASP.NET users table, right? So whether you are adding roles to user or users to role, the data it is going to stored inside this ASP.NET user roles table, right? ASP.NET users roles table. This is the table which is going to manage the relationship between user and the role. If you are adding some roles to a user, or if you are adding a multiple users to a particular roles, right? That means one user can have multiple role, or one role can be assigned to multiple user. So the relationship between them is many to many. And for handling the many to many relationship, entity from our core provide us with this joining table. So in this table, it is going to display, right? Even though if you remember, we have not yet added any, we have not assigned any role to a user, but we have already provided role with the user. For example, right, you can see why this list is coming. To understand this thing, if you go to roles management, and suppose this is admin role, and you can see currently we have provided these three users to the admin role. That is the reason why whenever I'm going to edit any particular user, whatever role are assigned, those list it is automatically showing here because the data is coming from this table. So the point that what you need to remember, you have two options to manage the user role relationship. One, you can manage while creating and updating the role functionality, you can assign whoever the user belongs to that particular role. Second one, while you are updating the user. So while you are updating the user information, at that time also you can specify what all roles this user belongs to, right? Or these users have. So both of the screen is there. We have already discussed how to manage, the role functionality and how to assign roles to user. So let us proceed and implement this functionality. So we will create one view where we will display the what is the user ID and user name, and then we are going to display all the list of users. Whatever users are selected, that is going to be checked, and whatever the users are not selected, by default that is going to be unchecked. And here the user can modify these things and click on the update one. So what we need to do, we need to create a view model. uh, right, for this view, we need to create one action method which is going to represent this view. We need to create one a view which is going to display this user interface, and we need to create one post method which is going to handle the update functionality, right? So these four things we are going to discuss. So first of all, what I'm going to do, first of all, I'm going to modify whichever the action method is going to handle these things, right? Whichever the action method is going to handle these things. So for now, right, let me go ahead and implement these things. So this is the manage user roles action method. It is going to handle the things, right? And later I will show you how to handle the claim functionality. For now, this is manage user roles, administrator controller, and and it is going to take the user ID as a parameter. So next, what I need to do, I need to create one action method with the name manage user roles within the administrator controller by taking the user ID as a input parameter, right? So let me go ahead. But before that, what I want to tell you is I need a view. I need a view model. Right? Without view model, I cannot pass this data. Right? Whatever data is required for the view, I need a view model or not, means whatever the user ID, right? Whatever the list of roles, right? Whatever the user name, right? So those information I need to pass, right? Using a model from our controller action method to the corresponding view. So for this purpose, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this user roles view model. So I'm going to create a view model. So just to go to this models folder, let me stop the application, go to the models folder. So user roles view model, and let me go ahead and copy this code. So here you can see I have created what is the role ID, what is the role name. Role ID is basically the identifier. Role name, this is the display name you can consider. Description, if you want to show what is the role description, that what it is provided. And each selected is going to specify whether this role is already selected for the particular user or not. Now you might have one question, sir, why didn't you put the user ID here? Yes, that makes sense. But I have not provided here because there is a relationship one to many. One user can have multiple roles. That is the reason why I have not provided the user ID here. User ID I will provide right from here using a view bag, or you can say view data. So this is going to be one to many relationship, and I don't want to repeat the user ID. That is the reason why I have not provided the user ID here. Okay, that's fine. Next, what I need to do is I need to create the get action of right version of the method which is to render the view. Right. So for this purpose, what I'm going to do, I'm going to the administrator controller. So this is my administrator controller. So guys, I'm adding one more right one by one method to this controller. So until and unless you are not doing practices, you will not get the clarity. So whatever we are discussing in the session, please do practices. And if you are facing any problem, right, while executing the code, while creating the application, if you are not understanding any identity method, right, then just let me know. Definitely, I'm going to help you, right? So find by ID method means it is similar to your find method what is entity framework code provided. To the find method, what you need to do, you need to provide the ID. Similarly, find by ID method. So to this find by ID method, we have other method also. What is find by email async, find by name async. So anyone find by right or any method you can use. So currently I'm going to use ID. So why I'm having this user ID, and that is the reason why I'm using find by async method. And here you can see I'm using task of action result asynchronous. Why? Because it is going to be a synchronous method, right? And as a synchronous method, I can use the async version. So here I'm checking whether the user is null or not null. If it is null, don't do anything. Redirect it to this not found error page. If the user is available, then please store the user ID and the user name. Right? What I can say, user ID and the username in the right user ID and username in the where you have to store in the view bag. And this is the small amount information which I want to pass from view from my action method to the corresponding view, right? That's fine. Now for the view, what I need this right list of right user roles view model. So I have created a model, and this model type is list of a user view model. And then what I need to do, I need to access all the roles from my database. And we have already discussed which property is going to give all the roles property, which property going to give all the users property. So here again, I'm making this asynchronous programming using the await operator and calling the toListAsync method. And here, one by one, I'm accessing the role. While I'm accessing the role, you can see in the view model, I'm storing the role ID, role name, and the description, not the each selected property. So role ID, role name, role description, I have provided, but I have not provided the each selected property. Why? Because this property value can be true or false. And if the user is already selected with this role, its value is going to be true, else its value is going to be false. That is the reason why randomly I have not provided. Rather than what I'm going to do, I'm going to check whether this particular user is assigned with this role or not. So, and you know how to do this thing. So for this purpose, what I need to do, I need to use the each in role async method, which is going to take the user object and the corresponding role name, and it is going to return me true. If this user is already assigned with this name, otherwise it is going to be false. So if it returns true, then each selected is going to be true, or else it is going to be false. And finally, what I'm doing, I'm adding this user's roles view model to this models collection, and this will this will be happen for each role whatever as I write whatever is there in our application. And finally we are passing this model to the corresponding view. Any question guys from this method?
No, no, sir.
It's clear guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next what I'm going to do, next we need to add the corresponding view. So let me go ahead and create the view. And the best approach to create the view is right click on the application and then select add view, reserve view, whatever the name coming, manage user roles, and click on the add button. So this should create the view. Let me copy this code. Okay. Yeah. So this is my view. Here you can see this is my username. This is my roles, view back that username, manage roles. This is my list of roles. I'm looking through the model count means how many number of elements are there. I'm storing the right role ID, role name, right in the hidden field. Role name is not required actually. This is not required. Rather than what I need to do, I need to store the user ID in the form. Okay. So this is my form. Here what I'm doing, I'm storing the role ID in the hidden field, and this is my model that is selected, means whatever the role ID that is storing in the hidden field is selected, whether it is checked or unchecked, that is from the model are going to be provided automatically. And this is the model role name and the corresponding description I'm showing here. And this is my submit button. When submitted, it will submit the data to which action method, to it will submit the data to one action method whose name is manage user roles, and this action method belongs to administrator controller. Let me also give the controller name, administrator controller, ASP controller equals to this, administrator controller. And the hidden, in this case, the hidden field is this one, but TP is your unique roles. Okay. Hmm. So here what I need to do, I need to store the user ID in the hidden field, right? So hidden field is user name is this one, and I'm getting this from the view back. Clear? So because in this case, what is the field which is containing the user ID? This is the user ID field. That what I need to pass here. So from this and the ID equals to this, name equals to this, and this is going to my hidden field, right? So with these changes, it should work. Okay, let me also provided this updated code. Okay, clear guys, what I have done here? So I'm storing the user ID in the hidden field, displaying the username, providing this manage role option, looping through all the roles, whichever roles are selected, that is going to be by default selected, true. And this is also I'm storing the role ID in the hidden field, and this is the role name and the corresponding description I'm showing. So when the user submit this button, update button, it will submit the data to the manage roles action method of administrator controller, which is decorated with the post attribute, and when the user click on this cancel button, it will take the user ID and it will go back to the edit user screen. Clear?
Yes, sir. So, sir, the hidden field will be going back to the controller, this hidden field.
Sorry?
The input type hidden is there, no, sir? So
Yes.
you are passing to the controller? Or-
Yes, yes. So you know how hidden fields are working or not? So hidden field means what? So it is an input element, like a text box. It is an input element. But that value will not be visible in the UI. But whenever we submit the data, that value it is submitted to the server.
Okay.
Right? So it is similar. So it is an input element. So the name of this element is user ID, and it is storing some user ID value, and it will not visible in the UI. But when I submit the data to the server, this user ID is also automatically submitted to the database. Sorry, to the backend application. Clear?
Yes.
Right. Okay. Next, what I need to do? Next, we need to create the manage user post action method, right? Which is going to handle the post functionality. Let me go ahead and let me post it here, right? So first of all, you can see this is my user ID, whatever the hidden input element, that user ID I'm taking here, and then I'm looking for any user with this name, because right, if the user ID is changed, right, then I should not proceed. So yes, this is valid or invalid. That validation I need to check. If it is not valid, then I need to display this not found error. We have already created this page. And right now fetch the list of roles the specified user belongs to. Right. So first of all, what I'm doing here, please observe. First of all, I'm retrieving all the users, right? So all the users from the database, right? Sorry, all the roles from the database based on this user. Whatever roles are assigned to this user, that list I'm fetching here. And once I fetch, right, what I'm doing here, I'm simply removing all these users roles. So I'm passing this user, I'm passing these roles, and I'm simply removing this right from there, right? So what is now, right? In previous case, right? In previous case, what I have done, I have write some kind of a conditional statement if the role is available. Okay, let me show you this thing. Right, edit user role, manage user role. Right. So in this case, you can see not this one. Right. So in this case, what you can see, I have written multiple if else condition. Right. So multiple if else condition means I'm checking whether this user and role exist in the database or not, whether this role is selected or not, and accordingly I'm providing the right add role functionality or remove role functionality, or I'm simply continuing this thing. Right? Rather than doing this, right? What exactly, right? Whenever I'm going to manage the role based on the user, I can easily manage this thing, right? How I can easily manage this thing? Now, whatever roles are already there in the database for the given user, please delete all of them. And whatever new roles are right, assigned to that user, please insert them at the same time, right? So with this approach, what is the best, what is the things what we are going to do? We do not have to write multiple APLs condition. We do not I mean that conditional checking is going to be remove. If you want conditional checking, that is fine. But I generally feel this is the best approach, right? Where what I'm doing, I'm first fetching all the roles based on this user. So this is going to give me the list of string roles. And then I'm having this user entity, which I have fetched from the database. And this is the list of roles which is assigned to this right user. So I'm deleting all those users right from the database for this particular user, right? And if operation is not successfully, right, you cannot remove existing user, right? That error message I need to display. Right? Otherwise, what once this operation is completed, right, then what I need to do? So we are having this model, and from this model, what I need to do, I need to select only those properties which is selected value is selected, right? So how I can write this by using this where condition, where x such that x that is selected by default, it is going to take true. Otherwise, you can write something like this. What you need to write? So you can write something like where x such that is selected equals to true. By default, it is going to check only true conditions. Otherwise, you can pass this value. And here it is asking, right, please select the role name. So first of all, this is model, which is containing list of elements. From this list of elements, I'm filtering to only those entities or those records which is selected property is true. And then I'm only going to select the role name. Right? I don't require any role ID description is selected. Based on this is selected. I'm fetching only the role name, and that is what I'm converting into a to list. So this roles to be assigned means this is the list of roles that what needs to be assigned for right to this given user. So if at least one role is there, then what I can do is add role to async, add to roles async method is there, where I need to pass the user and the list of roles to be assigned. And if it is successful, that is fine. If it fail, I need to display this message. Otherwise, if successful, I need to redirect to edit user method by passing the user ID. So here, what is important, right? What I'm doing, first of all, I'm fetching all the roles from the database. Second, I'm fetching, right, removing all the roles based on the user and this roles what it is returned from the database. Then I'm selecting all the roles name, right, which is selected, which I need to be assigned to that particular user. And then I'm passing that user and whatever roles to be assigned to this add to roles async method, which is going to insert this role into this database table. Clear or not?
Clear, sir.
Everybody clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let us run the application and see this is working fine or not. So we need to go to which section? User section. Okay, let edit. So currently how many roles are there? Moderator, admin, and a user. So we have already discussed this edit user functionality, which I'm not going to discuss. Currently, I'm going to discuss this user roles functionality, right? Let's click on this manage roles. Already all these three roles are assigned. Okay, let me remove this one and update this one. So here I'm getting some issue. Okay. So I'm getting some issue. Let us try to observe what is the error. That's fine. So that right error page is working as expected. So let me go ahead. Okay. So let me go ahead and update this view. Roles none at the moment. Okay, every role is deleted. Right, manage roles. Okay, let me select the first and second. Click on this update button. Am I getting the user ID? Yes. Am I getting the models? Yes. Count three, and here you can see this is selected. It's true. Role ID is there, and for the second one, you can see, right. So what it is important? You can see why it is not working. Can anybody observe why it is not working? Can anybody tell me why it is not working? Because this role name is null. If the role name is null, then how I can insert them to the database? right? So
Yes.
getting my point. So if you look at this, this is fine. It is going to remove, that is fine. Roles to be assigned. So here is selected is true, right? There are few entries are there. Roles to be assigned. You can see count equals to, but that value equals to roll name equals to null. If roll name is null, then how it is going to insert this data? So now let us try to understand why the roll name is null. If you go to this page, right? So this is my view. Here we are storing the role ID in the hidden field, right? But we have not stored the role name in the hidden field. So along with the role ID, I also need to store the role name. So once I store the role name, it should work as expected, right? So let me copy this code. So paste it here. Okay. Now, with these changes, now run the application and it should work as expected. Let's understand why we are not getting the data or why it is showing the error because the role name we are not passing from the view. So that's fine. Now click on this one, select this moderator admin, click on this update button. Now you should see that role name value is coming. So now it should work. Click on the continue button. And here you can see these two roles is assigned. Now I want to assign all these three roles. See all these three. I want to remove all these roles. I don't want to assign anything. Clear?
Yes.
So this is how you can manage user and the roles. For example, this is my user ID. Now you want to check, right, how many roles are there for this user in the database. Where user ID equals to this. So currently, you can see no roles is there, right? So manage user roles. I provided this admin and the user functionality. Now execute and you should see two roles. And if you take this role and the role, and if you check the database, then this is going to be the role, right, for this admin and user. These are the two roles. Clear, guys?
Yes, sir. Clear.
So this is how you can manage the user and the roles. So from this page, you can manage, right? This is the role, and this role you can assign to, right, one or more user. So this functionality is working. And also, right, you can also go to the users table, and there also you can manage this functionality, right? So that is fine. So basically, this is how we need to implement or we need to manage the user and role functionality. And we have already discussed, right, how to implement the role-based authentication. Clear, guys?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Yes, so on the right admin role, they can access this views water, right, these action methods within this controller. And even if you look at the home controller, we have also created, right, method with the role-based authentication. So this is how the role-based authentication works in your application. This authorized attribute, it is automatically going to check, right, whoever the role accessing the application, whatever roles are there associated with the user, right? So that is automatically going to be handled by this authorized attribute. Suppose the user, whoever the user logged in, then whatever roles are assigned to that user. Is this role admin and a moderator assigned? Yes, both are assigned. Okay, no issue, they can access this method. In this case, it is going to check whatever the user logged in. Is that user having this admin and a moderator? Anyone is fine. So anyone is available. Yes, anyone is available. He can access. Both are available. Yes, absolutely fine. He can access, right? So that is automatically going to be managed by this authorized attribute, right? So you do not need to do anything special. What is special? Whatever the role you have specified here, they must be valid in the database, right? So you cannot specify here moderator, admin, user. You specified here a moderator, admin, and a user, and you provided here something called ABC XYZ. This will not work. Whatever role you provided, they must be valid role in your database. Otherwise, it will not work. Clear?
Yes, sir.
That's fine. So now we need to understand, right? This is working fine. But do you think that this role-based authentication is sufficient nowadays? If your application is very complex, so do you think that this role-based authentication is sufficient for your application? See, if you are having a small application, right, then in that case, this might be a scenario where you can implement role-based authentication. But along with role-based authentication, right, we are also having something called claim-based authentication, right? So if you look at the database table, we are having something called right ASP.NET role claims, ASP.NET user claims. So let's start with this ASP.NET user claims, right? So this is the unique ID, whatever the user ID you have to provide, that what you need to provide, and here claim type and the claim value, right? So this is the right what I can say. Uh, what you are going to store. So it is going to store the data in the form of a key and value pair. So key and the corresponding value. So now I'm going to give you one scenario, right? For example, you are managing some kind of admin panel, right, for your organization. You are working in a very big MNC company, and this things, let assume this panel, right? This is the admin panel, which is going to manage by the HR team, or the admin team. You can consider, right, whatever the team. Now you just tell me. So as an experienced HR, you know how to handle all these things, right? Right. So you know what is the meaning of edit, delete, and all these things. And you are doing this thing very, that is fine. But a new HR joining to your organization, and he doesn't have any right experience, right, with this panel. So do you think that giving this edit and delete options to that newly added right HR team or admin people is a very good programming practice? If you provided a full access, he might be delete this employee, he might edit this employee, even though unintentionally, accidentally, that can be happen. So what we need to do is, in such scenario, until and unless he doesn't have a good experience about our panel, so we should give him with the right view functionality. He can only access the different pages. He can see the data, but he should not perform the update and delete operations, right? But at the same time, he is an admin user, like the experienced people, the like the experienced admin or like the experienced HR. That new guy is also one admin people or HR guy. But as he doesn't have that much of an experience, right? We should not give right the complete functionality. Even right. Let assume what is our scenario. We are having different kind of people. Some of the people we need to keep them only with the add functionality. It means they can only add the role, they can only add the user, they can only add the product, right? So that functionality we need to provide. Some of the users are there, right, who are also belongs to the admin user. You can consider they can update the functionality, right? They can add the functionality and they can also perform the update functionality. Both of functionality they are going to do, but at the same time they cannot perform the delete operations, right? For example, another very right head HR head of the department is there, who is very experienced. I want to give all the functionality to him or her, right? He can add, he can update, he can delete, he can view, he can upload the Excel file, he can download the Excel file, and whatever he wants to do or she wants to do, she or he can do. That means what? Now, based on the experience, we need to give some kind of a functionality, and that is not possible, right? That is possible using admin, but in that case we need to create so many different kind of roles, and managing the complexity is very difficult, and we can achieve this very easily by using the claim based authentication. So what I can do is I can create a claim, and I can create one claim for add, I can claim another claim for edit, I can create another claim for delete. And whichever user, whenever I created one user, let's say admin user or whatever user, I will assign the claim to that user. Yes, this is the user one. I have given access to add functionality. So add claim is assigned. Now, as the add claim is assigned, he can perform the add functionality. Okay, okay, not only add claim, I'm assigning add and edit both claim. Then he can perform both add and edit functionality. Okay, let me give all the claims, add, edit, and delete. So he can perform the delete functionality. That is what we need to right provide, or that is what we need to achieve. Not so. This is one of the use case of a claim-based authentication. Right. Apart from that, right, what I can do is right. We are going to use right a different kind of a claims. Right, it's identity claim. Suppose you are creating one token. right? Suppose you are generating one token, and while you are generating the token, or you can say while you are going to validate the token, whether it is a valid token or not, you need to check the email address. Then in that case, you can add that email address as a key and what is its corresponding value as a value to the token. And whenever you receive the token from the token, you need to paste the email address, and you can take this email address and check in the database whether this email address is exist or not, right? So that is what you can create a claim, right, for admin, moderator, user, member, right? Whatever the role we have created, you can also create them as role, right, claim. We can also create a right claim for permission label like edit role, delete role, create role, or any other custom claims, right? You want to create that what you can also create. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let us understand this how to implement. Now we want to do what? Now we want to manage the user claims. So similar to this user rails, right? Currently we have discussed this edit user functionality. In that edit user functionality, we have discussed, right? How to edit the user. That is what we have discussed. How to manage the roles. That what we have also discussed. Now I'm going to discuss how to manage the user claims. So what we need to do in the edit user functionality, we need to provide this manage claims. Whatever the claims are already assigned similar to this role, that list will be displayed here. If we know claims are assigned, so currently we have not assigned any claim. So what we need to do, we need to provide this none at the moment. And this is a button. And once you click on this button, it will open this manage user claims page. And inside this page, whatever claims you want to add for this user, let's assume we are going to create a claim for managing the functionality, edit, update, and delete. So whichever claim you created, that claim you need to select and click on the update button. So once you update this thing, right, then automatically these two claims it is going to display here. Clear what we want to achieve? So the same thing what we achieved with the user roles, the same thing we want to achieve with the user claims. Clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
And whenever we add the claim, they should store in the identity table. So currently, so in this case, right, the claim key and value both are going to be same for the case of a permission. But whenever you are creating a claim for identification purpose, like a username you want to store in the token, right, what I can say email ID you want to store, then in that case, the claim type is going to be username and email. And the claim value is nothing but the actual value what you want to store. That particular user name, that particular email ID of the user, that information you need to store here, right? But for now, both the claim type and the claim value both are going to be same. So let us proceed and let's see how we can implement it. So basically what we want to achieve, what we want to implement is that clear. First of all, I'm showing you how to create claims. Once we create claims, right, and assign the claims to, right, what I can say user, then I'm going to show you how to implement a claim-based authentication. Clear, guys?
Yes.
Right. So first of all, we need to provide this user claim section. Inside which view? Edit user view. So let me go to the edit user view and add a section for managing the user claims. Okay. So edit user page, where is the edit user page? Okay. Administrator controller, manage user roles. Right. So this is my edit user page, and inside this edit user page, this is my manage role section. And to just below this section, I'm going to use this claims. Now you can see this claims it is showing right error because this claims is not available in this property. And if you remember, yesterday we have removed this thing, right? So what I want to do is I want to create a claims collection. So what I'm doing here, I'm creating a variable, so similar to these roles, I'm creating this as a claims collection, right? So clear, guys. So first of all, what changes I have done? I have added this claims property to my edit user model. So once I add this claims property, now you can see I should not have any issue, right? That error is gone. So what I'm doing here, whatever claims are already assigned, that the list of claim I want to display. Otherwise, I'm going to display none at the moment. And whenever the user click on the, right, what I can say, this manage claims button. It will redirect to manage user claims page by taking the administrator of the administrator controller. So it will invoke the manage user claims action method of an administrator controller. And in this case, it is going to take the user ID, right? So by taking the similar to this manage user roles, so manage user claims and taking the user ID, it is going to redirect. But one more change, guys, what I need to do in this case, I need to handle, right? What is that change? Right. Currently, if you look at the edit user view, we are initializing this user roles section with the user roles, but we have not initialized the section for claims. Okay. So that claim section also we need to handle. Right. So to handle that claim section, what I'm doing here, I'm retrieving all the user claims. And here you can see this is going to be a user claim, I claim, right? So what happening? So this is going to be I claim. So in this case, this is the I claim, right? It is storing. So from this claim, right, what I want, I only want the list of claims. That means the value. So it is going to store the data in the form of a key value pair. So what I'm going to do, I'm only going to select the value, right value. I don't want the name, only the value, and that value I'm converting into a list, right? So in this case, this is my claim type and claim value, whatever the value I'm storing here. So if you want to store the type, that is also possible. So you can use the type and you can store them, right? Let assume type I'm going to store that what I'm fetching and that what I'm storing in the claims property, right? Clear, guys? So what I'm doing, I'm fetching, right, similar to this one, get roles async, get claims async. It is going to return all the claims associated with the user from this table. So based on this user ID, whatever the claim type, claim value ID, everything it is going to retrieve. And from this information, I don't want to display everything, whatever the claim type, right, that what I want to display. Because in this case, I'm going to store both the claim type and the claim value same. Whichever things you want to display in the UI, that time to our value you can fetch, and here I'm fetching all the time, converting to a list, and that list I'm assigning to this right claims property, and then it is passing. Looks fine. Clear, guys, what changes I have done?
Yes, sir.
Right. Next, what I need to do, right? So once this change is done, right, next I need to decide whatever the claims do, right? So basically what you can do is you can create a database table where you are going to store all the claims for your application, right? Similarly, right, as you decide what are the different roles, right, you can create the roles, right? Similarly, right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to decide whatever right claims are going to be used for our application, and this information you can store in the database or any configuration file anywhere. But for me, right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a static class, and inside this static class, I'm going to store all the list of a claim. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a class name. Okay, let me go ahead and create a class name. The class name is going to be, right, what is the class name? Claim store. So this is my class name. And inside this class, right, I'm going to store the list of a claim. So currently you can see whatever claims I have created. So this is going to be my claim collection. So here you can see, right, what I can say, this is my claim, right? Whatever code they have written, right? You can go ahead and you can log, but that doesn't make any sense. But here, what is important to this claim constructor, we need to specify the type and the value. So what is the claim type and what is the claim value? That is what we need to specify to this constructor. My claim type is create role. My value is also going to be create role. Both same thing I'm storing here. And this is a static method. Using this class, when someone call this method, it is going to return me all the claims. Clear? This is just a user claim store you can consider, which is going to store the claim master data. Even if you want, you can create a right database table where you are going to create one ID, whatever the claim type and claim value. Right? This is the master data. And out of this red claims, whichever claim you want to assign to which user, that information it is going to store inside this ASP.NET user claims table. Clear?
Yes.
Okay. So now user claim class we need to create, right? So this user claim class means what? Now in the UI, right? In the UI, what I need to display? I need to display whatever user claims are already assigned. For example, this is the screen that what I want in the UI. That means whatever the claim name or type, whatever value, and whether this is selected or not. So these two information I want to display, and that is also going for a particular user. That means what is the relationship between user and claims? So in this case, by looking at this, one user can have a multiple claim or not.
Yes, yes.
So that means one-to-many relationship, right? So for this purpose, right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a table with the name user claim, and whatever claims are available for our application, all those claims collection it is going to store, and whatever already assigned to that particular user, that each selected property is going to be true, right? So it's very simple, right? You can see, so this is for a particular user, whatever claims are selected, that each selected property is going to be true. And this claim is going to contain the list of all claims, right, available for our application. And out of all available claims, whichever claims you want to assign to that particular user, what you need to do in the UI. And whichever claims you assign, that list is going to be stored inside this table. Clear, guys, up to this? Till now, any question?
No, sir.
Right now what I'm going to do now in this case, I don't want to use any view back, right? By passing the, right, what I can say, user ID, right? As yesterday someone asked me, sir, can we create another class? Inside that class, can we create this as a collection of property, and along with this collection property, can we use user ID? Yes, that is also possible. Let us see how we can do this. So for this purpose, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a user claims view model. So this is going to my user claims view model class. And this view model class is going to have these things. So this is going to my view model class. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to initialize these things. I can remove these things. Right? So here you can see this is my user ID along with the list of claims. And this user claim is nothing but this user claim. So one user can have multiple claims, and out of this multiple claim, right, whichever claims are already selected or provided, that each selected property is going to be true. Clear now?
Yes, sir.
And so guys, what is my intention? My intention, I want to make you understand all the possible red features. If viewbag is provided, how to use the viewbag in real-time applications. Without viewbag, how you can handle the same scenario, right? Using view model. And what is a view model? View model means whatever the data required for a view, it should contain. So claims information record, okay, no issue. Add them, whatever data is required. User ID required, okay, no issue. You can add the user ID. Any other information required in the view, okay, no issue. You can add them inside this view model. So this is going to be the view model, or you can say this is the model for our corresponding view. Clear till now? So what we have done, we have create one claim store, which is going to store all the claims. We have create one model, right? Or you can the class, which is going to contain all the claims and each selected property. This property is going to be true or false based on the assigned value. If already the claim is assigned it, this is going to be true, else it is going to false. And this is the model for our view, which is going to contain the user ID. And for this user ID, whatever claims are, right, whatever all claims. So this is going to be all the claims. So it is going to contain three information. One is create role, edit role, and delete role. And whichever claims are selected, that is selected property, it is going to be true, right? So that is what we have done so far, right? And also we have also added this claims collection, right? That is going to be used in the edit user view, right? So now, if you look at this edit user page, right? So administrator controller, and this is my edit user. If you go to this edit user page, so whenever the user click on this manage claims button, it will submit the data to which action method? Guys, tell me, it will submit the data to which action method?
Manage user claims.
Manage user claims. So next, what is our requirement? Next, our requirement is similar to this manage user roles functionality. We need to create the two action method. One is for manage user claims, get version, and another one is manage user roles, get version. So let me start with the manage user claims, right, get method, and then I will show you manage user claims view, and then the port version. Right. So this is my get version. So it is taking the user ID. If you look at this edit user view, it is right. We are passing the user ID, right? And that user ID we are right accepting using this into parameter. And based on this user ID, first of all, we need to fetch the data. We need to do the initial validation. And whatever the username I want to store, that what I'm going to store in the viewback. You don't want to store this username in the viewback. Okay, no issue. What I can do is I can store that username right in the view model. Right. So what I can do is I can create this public string username. Right. So that is what I can do here. And here now, instead of along with this, what I can do, I can also store that username. Clear? Clear or not?
Clear, sir.
So instead of storing the username viewback, I'm storing the data in the view model. And for that purpose, I have added this username property, right? That's fine. Now, once this is done, right, then what I need to do, first I want to access all the user claims, right? Suppose in the edit user page, you can see how to access all the user claims. Now, for this purpose, I need to call this get claims async method by passing the user object, which is going to give me all the list of user claims. The same thing I'm doing here. I'm calling the get claims async method by passing the user instance, and it is going to return right. It is going to return me the list of user claims. So now in this case, if it might be zero, it might be one, it might be three, right? Whatever all assigned claims, right? If you have assigned anything, that list it is going to return. If you have not assigned anything, then in that case, this is going to be null. Next, what we need to do? Right? Then based on this existing claims, we need to set this is selected property, right? That is what we need to do next. So how to get the first of all, right? What I need to do, I need to call this get all claims method. So once I call this get all claims method, it is going to return me the list of user claims, and one by one, I'm going to check whether this list of user claim is available inside this existing claims or not. If it is available, then what I need to do, I need to set this is selected property to true. So basically what I'm doing here, first of all, I'm retrieving all the claims and I'm looping through all these claims one by one. First, I will access create role, then I will access edit role, then I will access delete role. Once I access create role, I'm going to take this create role and I'm going to check whether this create role is exist inside this existing user claims, which is already assigned to user. If it is exist, then what I need to do, I need to set this is selected property value to true. Is that clear?
Yes.
Right? So that is what I'm doing here. First of all, I'm calling that static method, which is going to return me a list of claims. In this case, it is you can say this is going to return me a list of claims. And then what I'm doing, I'm creating one user claim instance. So this is user claim, whatever the claim type, all right, that what I'm storing here, claim type value I'm storing here. And after then what I'm doing, I'm checking this is my existing claims. So inside this existing claim, any claim is available with this claim type. Within this existing claim, is any claim available with this claim type? It is available, then this any method is going to return me true. And in that case, whatever user claim instance we created, that is selected property, we need to set to true. And finally, this right user claim what we created with the claim type and is selected, that is what we are going to add right into our models dot claim. So we have already created this model. So this model, you can see it is a user claims view model. We have stored username, user ID username, and this is the claim collection. And to this user claims collection, right, what I'm doing here, I'm adding the user claims. And you might have one question, sir, why you are initializing this? Yes, we are initializing this because right, even though if I'm not initializing that to a list of string, I will not get any issue. If I'm not initializing here, and if I'm directly using claims.add, claims will be null. On null object, if I'm calling the add method, then I will get right runtime exception null reference. To handle the null reference exception, guys, it is always recommended, right? Whenever you are creating any collection property, please initialize them if you want to avoid the null reference exception, right? Clear, guys? This model is this action method is clear,
Yes, sir.
right? Next, what I need to do once this is done, right? Next, what I need to do, I need to create the view. Let me go ahead and add the view. This is a very simple view. Okay, you can see the form. Okay, let me give this name. ASP action equals to what is the name? Guys, tell me what is the view name? Manage user claims. So the action method name. ASP controller equals to
Administrator.
administrator. This is going to my administrator controller. Method equals to post. That's fine. And here manage user claims. And here username, right? I'm going to use from the model.username I'm using because currently I'm not using any viewback, right? So model.username. So model.claims.count, whatever count I have provided. And in the hidden field, I'm storing the claim type and each selected property, whether it is selected true or false, that is there, and displaying the claim type also here. And this is my error summary where if any error occur, and when the user click on this update button, it will submit the data to this action method of this controller, right? And this is my edit user, right? What I can say. Uh, I mean, when you click on this cancel button, it will redirect you back to the edit user page, right? What is important? This hidden field you must be stored, right? So that is what you need to provide, right? So let me, right, copy this code and paste it here. Also, right, whatever changes I have done, let me put them also. There is no changes in the claim store. User claim is now, there is no changes. User claims view model, we have changed this one. So let me go ahead and right, put this code here also. So this is my change, what changes I have done, right? And also I have done some changes to manage user claims, right? Get action method. So this is going to be my manage user claims, right? Get action method. So for what better view, I just put it here. Manage user claims, get action method. So this method is also changed. Okay, let me also put the code here. Clear? So this is what I have done so far. Clear, guys? Till now, any question?
No, sir.
Right. Till now, everything is clear?
Yes.
Yes. Right. So why I'm going to do this, right? Delete this one. So this comment is not required also. Why? Because this is not useless. Okay, fine. Next, what I need to do, guys, we need to create the post version of the action method, which will handle the functionality, right? So let me go ahead and create these things. So this is going to be my post action method, which is going to handle the post functionality. You can say HTTP post method, manage user claims. First of all, I'm finding the user, right? From the model. Is in the model, am I storing the user? Okay, let us try to check. Right, so this is my view. So in the new model, am I storing the user ID? So any hidden field is there which is holding the user ID? No, no hidden field is there. So it will not work. So what I need to do, I need to create a hidden field. So input type hidden ASP for model dot. Guys, tell me, at the rate model dot clear?
Yes.
Yes or no? Because we have not stored the user ID, so it will not work. So we need to store, yes, whatever changes we have done, that changes also needs to be reflected in the UI. So I have passed this one. So hidden field, I have stored the user ID. So that is also going to be submitted, right? And here,
So
then
it
what
will,
I'm doing, sorry.
so sir, it will not go by itself, the model you are returning, right?
So how it
Okay.
will, so if you are not providing any property, that which is holding the value, how automatically it's going to be happening? So you need to pass now, otherwise automatically, there is nothing called automatically. You need to instruct or you need to provide. So in this case, a user ID I am storing in the hidden field, and that value is automatically submitted to the server, right, when the form is submitted.
Okay.
If I do not write the statement, how this value is going to be submitted,
Okay. Okay.
right?
Mm.
So that is what I need to do. Now, come to this page. So first of all, based on the user ID, I'm fetching the user. I'm checking if user equals to null, then give this error message. And then what I'm doing, I'm just getting all the existing claims and delete them. Similar to role functionality, what I'm doing here, I'm fetching all the claims and I'm removing all the claims based on this user and this claims collection I'm passing, right? If gives some error, right, I'm adding this error message and staying in the same page. And then what I'm doing here, I'm selecting all the selected claims, right? How it is going to be done, let's try to observe. Model dot claim. So in this model, right, it is having all the claims, but out of all the claims, whichever claims is selected by the user, that claim only I'm interested for. That means I need to check this is selected property where C dot is selected. By default, it is going to check the Boolean value true. Otherwise, if you want, right, you can also write the statement equals to true. So from this, all right, from these things, right, what I need to do, I need to select the claim type, right? Here you can see what I'm doing. I'm creating a right new object. Which type of object? Claim type of object. But in this claim type of object, what I'm doing, I'm providing the claim type and the claim value. And here, both the claim type and the claim value is going to be same, right? Whatever the claim type and whatever the right, so in our application, whatever the right inside this claims collection, right, if you look user claims view model, so this is my user claim. So this user claim, right, it is going to store this claim type, and this claim type I want to use as both value as well as the type. If you are having a claim type and claim value separately, two different things, you can write here claim type, here you can specify the claim value. For that purpose, what you need to do, you need to add another property here called the claim value. That's what you need to specify. But now the same claim type I am using here as the claim type as well as the claim value and converting that to a list. So this is going to be my list of a claim. And here, if at least one claim is there, that's fine. Then what I need to do, I need to proceed. And here, what the user object, and to this user object, I need to pass this list of all select claims. If it is proceed successfully, right, that what I need to redirect to edit user page. Otherwise, I need to stay in the same page. Clear?
Yes.
Right. So with these changes, let me run the application and see whether this manage user claims functionality working as expected or not. If not working, then we'll identify why it is not working and figure out. So now, so manage user. So edit user. See claims. Currently, there is no claims, none at the moment. And I just click on the manage user claims. So you can see three options are there. Let me give this a create and a edit functionality. Click on the update button. So you can see there are currently two claims is assigned to this user. Again, click on this manage user. No, I don't want to provide create. I want to give this edit and delete. You can see edit and delete. Role claim is assigned to this user. Clear? Right. For example, another user is there. That is the info user. Okay. For this info user, let me give some claim. And right, this is my info user. So claim. So this section is not coming. Why?
Which section, sir?
Right. So for this one, user claims section is coming and it is showing manage claims. Right. But whenever I'm selecting this info user, yes,
It is
now it is
showing.
coming. So manage claims. And here, right, what I'm doing, I'm giving this, yes, it is showing fine. And right, another user is there. Let me update this one. And to this, okay, let me give this admin moderator every role I have given. And here I'm only providing the, right here I'm only providing the create role. Clear, guys? So all these functionalities are working or not? How to update the user, how to update the role, how to assign the roles to user, how to assign claims to user, right? Everything is fine. Clear?
Yes.
Anyone having any question, guys? If this is if no question, then we can proceed and we can understand how to implement a claim-based authentication. So till now, what we have done? Till now, right? Till now, what we have done? Right? Till now, we have created claims. We have stored the claim store. We have assigned claims to user. Now what is important? Now, if you look at this table, then you should see all these things, right? So this is ASP.NET user claims. So you can see this is one user, this is another user, this is another user. For one user, I have provided edit and a delete claim. For another user, I have provided a create and a delete claim. For another user, I have provided this create role claim, right? So let me also, we have having another user. So this is the info one. So to this user, what I'm doing, I'm providing all the claims, right? Now you will see another three entries must be there for the new user. And here, this user having all the claims. Clear, guys?
Clear.
Right. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how to implement a claim-based authentication for our application. So what is our requirement, right? Our requirement is that if to delete a role, right? For example, one admin user is there, right? For example, so first of all, you can say this is my administrator controller. If the user doesn't have this admin role, can he access these action methods?
No.
No, he cannot access this action method, right? So what is my requirement? If one user wants to delete a role, or if one user wants to delete a user, then he should have this delete role claim. Getting my point? If any user means any logged in, any authenticated user having the admin role, if he wants to perform some kind of a delete operations, right? For example, if he want to access this delete user method, or if he want to access this delete role method, then what is my business requirement? He must have a delete role claim. He must have a delete role claim policy, you can say. Similarly, if any admin user wants to edit a user, or you can say edit a role, then he must have this edit role policy, right? Edit role claim, right? Or you can say, so whenever I'm saying claim, you can also say tell them that's policy, no issue. Edit claim policy. Similarly, if any user, if any user wants to create a role, or if any user wants to create a user, right, then he must have, right. So for that create a user, right, here, right, you can see administrative controller. For creating the role I can give, but that policy should not be applicable to create a user, because that user creation functionality is within the account controller, and within the account controller this registration method is accessible to anyone. So anyone can create the user, that is not an issue, right. For what is our requirement? If the user having the create role policy, then he can only create the role. And list of roles, for showing the list of roles page, and for showing the list of user page, I don't require any kind of a policy. Any admin user, they can view the data. That is what my requirement. Clear?
Yes.
Right? But currently such requirement, right? Such restrictions we have not provided, such more control, right? Right. See, admin role level RPS, role level access control functionality we have provided. But claim based means whenever you are going to implement more controller, more granular permissions, right? Not only the admin role must user must have, but he also have some kind of a claims to access the particular resources, right? In such cases, you need to go with claim based authentication. So let us see how we can do this. So for this purpose, what I need to do, we need to create a claim policy, and then you need to apply that policy either to the controller method at the controller level or to the controller action method. What is a claim policy? A claim policy is a named set of requirements that a user must meet to be authorized for a specific task. Means what? Means what? Within the claim policy, we need to specify for this policy to be satisfied, the user must have this claim. Otherwise, he cannot access the things, right? And we need to define the policy in the program class of our ASP.NET Core applications. And then we need to define, once you define the policy, then we need to apply the policy on the action method or on the controller, something like this. Authorize it. Here you need to define a policy, whatever the policy name you provided, that policy name you need to specify here, right? So let us proceed and see how we can do this. Clear, guys? So first of all, we need to define the policy. And once we define the policy, right, then we need to see how to use the policy. So to define the policy, what I'm going to do, right, I'm going to my program class. So this is my program class. So inside this program class, what I'm going to do before this, what I have done, I have added some kind of authorization policy. So this is my delete role policy. Right? So similar to this delete role policy, I'm going to add other policies. What are the other role policies? So one is create role policy, and whatever the policy name, that what you need to specify here. So this is going to be my create role. The name must be same, right? And another one is right update role policy, and whatever the right here edit role. So that what you need to provide here. So here, instead of update, let me keep the naming convention as expected. So here you can see, uh, to create a policy, what you need to do, you need to use add authorization service, because this is going to be checked right at the time of authorization. Means first of all, you need to be authenticated user. After authenticated, the authorization will come into the picture. And at the time of authorization, it is going to check whether the user having this role or having this claim or not. And this is only going to check if the user is associated with this delete role policy or create role policy or edit role policy. Clear, guys? So, so here, what I'm doing, I'm creating a policy. And to satisfy this policy, what is the required claim? That what I have specified. To satisfy this policy, here EATE. So to satisfy this policy, what are the required claim? That what I have specified here. You can also specify multiple claim, right? If you want, but this is individual, it's fine. Clear, guys?
Yes.
Right. So once we created the policy, next is what? Next, what is means we need to apply the policy, right? And how to apply the policy? Something like this. Okay, right? Whatever your policy name you provided, that policy you need to apply. Now you just tell me, right? Now this is my administrator controller. So while creating a role, right? What should be the policy? Which policy I need to apply here? For
Create.
creating a role, we need to apply this create role policy. So to this administrator controller, I need to provide the policy name. And also to this post action method also, I need to provide this create policy. Where similarly, for this list of roles, I don't want any kind of a policy. Anyone can access. But for this edit role policy, to edit a role, what is the policy I need to apply? Edit role policy. So I can specify that edit role policy must be there. Similarly to this post version of the method, we need to provide this. To edit the users in role, we need to apply this policy. I need to apply this policy. So for edit the user, right, I also need to apply the policy. And here also I need to apply the policy. Clear? Then what is my requirement? Right, I want to provide the delete role policy. Right, so for deleting the role, what I'm going to do, I'm going to provide this delete role policy. So this is my delete role policy. I have created here, and here I'm going to apply. So this is my delete user, and
Delete role.
so I have by mistake here I have provided the edit role. It should be delete role policy, right? And this edit user policy should be here. Clear? So this is edit role means I need to apply edit role policy. Delete role means I need to apply the delete role policy. Edit users in role. So here edit user in roles. Here also I need to apply the edit. List user. So this is the list page. Means I do not need to apply any kind of a policy here. So accordingly, right? You need to decide whichever action method is going to be accessed by the user. I mean, what policy accordingly you can set. Clear or not? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So this is how we need to apply, right, the policies, right? Even you can specify multiple claims, and how you can do, you can see delete role policy, delete role and create role, right? If you want, you can create something like this, but ideally not required, right? For individual option functionality, you need to provide individual form, right? So that is fine. So this is what we have provided here. Okay, do you think that providing the policies on the action method is itself right? Matlab, enough? No. Why I'm saying no? Because right, so in the behind the scene, in the back end, we are managing the same thing, right? Managing the functionality, but in the right UI, we also need to do. So this is the theoretical definition, right? I have provided a difference between role-based authentication as well as a claim-based authentication. You can check. Only theoretical discussions are there. How to use role-based authentication and how to use claim-based authentication. So for simplicity, what you can do, you can go with role-based authentication. But whenever you are going to manage the right, what I can say functionality in a more granular manner, you need to go with the claim-based authentication. Now, what I want to do is, right, I want to show you how to implement claim-based authentication in the view. Then I'm going to show you the example, right? So currently, you can see this user manage option is going to be visible when the user is admin. If the user is admin, this user and role section is going to be visible, and that's what we have already implemented, right? Now, what we need to do is we need to show and hide the menus based on the user role. That is what we have already implemented. Now, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to implement the claim-based authentication. So claim-based authentication means what? Now you can see this edit button is there. This delete button is going to be there. So what is my requirement? My requirement, if the user, whoever the user logged in, if that user having this edit claim, then I need to show this edit button. If the user having this delete claim, then I need to display this delete button. If the user having this insert or you can say create claim, then I need to show this create button. Getting my point, guys?
Yes.
Right? So whatever the user logged in, based on the right claims associated with that user, I need to show and hide the respective buttons, right, add, edit, or delete. And we have already discussed how to create the claims, right? We have already having these claims, right? And we have also created the policies, right? So we have also created the policies. What policies we have created? These are the different policies which we have already created, right? So let me right restore these policies. So these are the list of policies which we have created. So you can see to satisfy the user edit policy, right, you can use create policy, as well as you can also use the right delete policy as per your requirement. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to modify the functionality. Guys, remember this whatever method I have applied, that logic, right? That what you need to apply, right? I have only show you, right, how to apply the policy, and it is your responsibility which method is going to be applicable, right? With what kind of a policy, that what you need to specify. Now what I'm going to do is, right? I have to inject, right? Right. I have to show and hide policies. I mean, I want to show and hide buttons based on the policy. So for that purpose, what I need to do is I need to use something called authorization service. So I need to use something called authorization service. Why? Because this is part of the authorization process. Showing, right? So this claims whatever we are going to do, it is going to be part of your authorization process. So for this purpose, what I'm going to use something called I authorization service. And this I authorization service is available inside my Microsoft.asp.NET Core.authorization namespace. So first of all, I need to import the namespace. Then I need to inject the authorization service, and this authorization service, right? Uh, Using this authorization service, we are going to check whether the user is having with this policy or not. If the user is assigned with this particular policy, then I need to show the button. Otherwise, I need to hide the button, right? So let us try to understand this using my all roles method, right? So basically, I'm having this list of role space. So this is my list of role space. So inside this space, I need to import this thing, right? First of all, what I need to do, I need to inject the required services. So this is my right I authorization service, and this is my. You can see this question mark is not required here. So this is my authorization service, and this authorization service is available within this namespace. That is what first I have to specify. So once I have specified the same thing, so this question mark is not required. And guys, remember this identity is no longer required because we are not using this. We are using application. Okay, that's fine. So now what I need to do? I need to check the permissions, right? And based on this, I need to provide the buttons, right? See how we can do this. So where is the edit button? Which
So
page
I
is
have
that?
a question. Hello.
Where is the edit button? Yes, this is my edit button. Now what I'm doing here, please observe. So using this authorization service, I'm checking whether this user, this is user means the logged in user instance you can access using this user principal object. This logged in user is having this edit role policy, and here I'm using succeeded. This succeeded method, it is going to return true if the particular user is having this policy. Otherwise, it is going to return false. If this user is having this edit role policy, then this edit button is going to be visible. Clear or not? Clear or not?
Yes.
Right. Similarly, what I need to do, I need to provide this functionality for the delete role. Right. So where is the delete button, guys? The delete button is there. So this is my delete button, and this delete button is only going to be visible whenever the user is having the what policy? The
Delete
delete role
policy.
policy. So go to the program class. So inside the program class, we have created this delete role policy. Come to here and specify this thing, delete role policy. Clear? Now, similarly to this one, right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to manage this add role. So this create role is only going to be visible whenever the user is having the create role policy. Right? So this is going to be the create role policy. So this is going to be the create role policy. Clear or not?
Yes, clear.
Right. Now, the same thing I want to do in another page. What is that page? The page is going to be list of users. Right. So first of all, and guys, remember one more thing. Right? So if you are going to use this authentication authorization service throughout your application, then better to put this inside the which file, guys?
View start. View import, sorry. Yeah.
Right? So you have to put that inside this view import file, right? And next, what I need to do once I import this view import style, directly I can inject the service. So this is my list of user space. Okay, so inside this space, I'm injecting the service, right? So then what I need to do, just to do it whatever, right? This is my page. And for this one, the user wants to add, right, a user, the admin, then he must have this add user policy, right, create role policy. And here also you can see I'm having this right edit user. So for this one, right, what I can do is I can copy this one. So this is going to my edit user. And here, right, I'm going to copy paste this code. So this is my edit user policy. And this is my delete button. So again, what I can do is I can copy this one and I can paste it here. So this is going to be my delete role policy. Clear, guys? What changes we have done? Is that clear?
Yes.
Right. So with these changes, now let us run the application and see whether we are able to right perform all the operations and all the things are visible or not. So currently we are logged in using what user? We are logged in using info. So now if you go to the users collection, nothing is displayed here.
Yeah, you can check rules.
Hmm?
What is the rule of this?
So anything is wrong. Good. Yes. Why? Because we have not yet logged in the user. Right. So what I need to do, I need to log out and then again I need to log in. Then only it is going to show you the data. Capital A, B, C, D at the rate 1234. Login. Now it should show the data. See what information is provided? Only the delete button.
Delete.
Why? Because this user, right? If you look at this user ID, then he should have only delete role policy. Let me go ahead where user ID equals to, right? So where user ID equals to, see edit role and a delete role. So here edit role and delete role means this is add user. Add user means it should have displayed the edit role. Na? Edit role means edit role policy should be displayed. Okay, let us see why it is not displaying. So list of
Like,
users. Okay, let me go to the role section. Again, this is not showing the edit role. Okay, so
yeah, sir,
basically
we
there
have
might be
not
some issue.
given the. Okay.
There might be some issue, right? So what is the issue? So this is edit role policy. Let me go ahead and check the program class. Yes, this is my edit role policy. For this policy, it should have the edit role. So this is my edit role policy. That what I have applied here. That's fine. So delete rule working, but the edit rule is not working. Why? Guys, help me to figure out what is the issue. What is the issue, guys? I'm not understanding. It should work. Delete role policy,
Yes.
edit role policy. User, user, that's fine. Why it is not working? Okay,
Yeah.
let me refresh the page. But again, add role functionality is working. I have not provided the add role, but it is showing the add role page. So change something. Show here, create role policy is there.
Maybe that user, we need to check what permissions. The rules of
Okay. So might be, so whatever the admin, okay, let me do one more thing. So might be this is the different user I'm looking for. Let me go to the database. So this is the info user, what we have logged in. Copy this one and check it here. So this is the user. Yes. So you can see whatever the role is assigned, create and delete. That is the reason why only create and delete is showing here. Clear?
yes.
Right now, if you go to the right roles section, user section, you will also see the create and delete. Now let us log in with a different user. So let me go with this Pranay one. So a capital, what is the password we have provided? Test at the rate 1234. Right now, come to this part, users. Again, it is not showing anything. Moderator.
I think this is a user. That's all.
Hmm?
Info one.
Whichever user having all the roles. So this user. Okay, let me go with this info one. Mhm. You can see all the functionality is showing. Add, edit, and delete. Why? Because this is the user which is having all the roles, right? So you can see this user is having all the right. What I can say claims. That is the reason why it is showing everything. Clear?
Yes.
Right now, if you look at this info two, he is having right some kind of other roles, right? Edit and delete. So now let me also go with info two. And right, guys, if you are not getting the data, it might be because of the caching issue, right? So that is the reason why I have created multiple user to show you that functionality is working as expected. So invalid. Okay, let me give capital ABCD at rate 1234. Not working. Let me give EEST at the rate 1234. What is that password?
Capital A B.
Hmm?
Not
Capital
remember, sorry. We can check in
ABCD
database.
at the rate 1234. Not working. So capital TEST at the rate 1234. Not working. Okay, if it is not working, then what I can do is, right, I can go to the ASP.NET users table, click on this update button, right? So this is Pranay Kumar. So this is the Pranay Kumar's password. Copy this password, store it here, and store it here. Okay. So now capital TST test at the rate 1234. Right now, go to this user section, and you can see edit and delete is showing, but not the create one. Clear?
Yes.
Right. So how to implement a claim-based authentication is that fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit this info user, right? And here you can see manage roles, manage claims. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to provide all the claims, right? So you can see now it is having all the claims. And the first name, last name is missing. So Pranay route that what I have provided for the info user. So now if you see Pranay route is there. So now log in with the info user. So info uh, test at the rate 1234. What is that password? Capital A B C T at the rate 1234. Right now you can see all the claims are showing. Clear? Yes or no? If you go to the roles, again, it is going to display all the roles. Clear,
Yes.
guys? So this is how you can implement, right, role-based authentication and claim-based authentication in your application, right? So how to add or remove claims for a user. So that is what we need to remember. So we have discussed this thing. Okay. So how to add or remove claims, right, in ASP.NET Core identity. So adding or removing claims, right, for a role involves few steps, right? Now, for example, it's as you already know that ASP.NET Core Identity, it is a membership management system, right? It supports authentication and authorization using both roles and claims, right? And what is claim we have discussed, right? Now, what we want to do is on the edit role view, right? So this is my edit role view, right? We have to add manage claims button, right? So currently you can see this is my roles. So, and in edit roles view, currently you can see, right? Currently, what we have implemented. Currently, we have implemented, right? Currently, we have implemented, right? What? Now, currently, we are assigning claims to user, claims to user. So, if I'm assigning claims to user, then what is the problem? So, if my application is having, let us assume 1,000 users, and if I want to assign two claims to each user, then what is the total number of claims I want to insert into this database table? Let's tell me. If my application is having 1,000 number of users, and if each user is assigned with two claims, then what is the total number of claims?
Two, two
Let's tell
claims
me.
are there.
1,000.
Sorry,
2,000.
1,000.
1,000 into multiplied by 2 means it is going to be 2,000. So that is
Yes.
what the 2,000 entries I need to manage here. So now what I'm going to do is, right, I'm going to, right, what I can do is I can create, right, some, right, for example, my application having few role, admin, let use MOD moderator, right, another one is super admin, right, super admin. This is, suppose what is my requirement? So this admin user, I want to give access, right, what edit and delete, edit and delete. So this super admin, what I want to give access, create, edit, and delete. And this moderator means he can only view the claim, no claims, no claims. So in this case, if I'm creating claims, then how many claims? Claims are three claims. So here admin is associated with the three claims, super admin is associated with the three claims, and admin is associated with the two claims. So total five claims are there. So here you can see along with the ASP.NET user claims, ASP.NET user claims this table, we are also having ASP.NET roles claim. So ASP.NET roles claim means, so based on the, sorry, currently what I'm doing here, so currently we are assigning claims to user. So instead of assigning claims to user, we can also assign claims to role. Now you just tell me if this is my requirement for super admin, I want to assign three claims, and for admin, I want to assign two claims. So total, how many claims I need to make entry into this table? Understand me? So one admin having three claims, sorry, admin having two claims, and super admin having three claims. Total, how many claims? Total, it is going to be have five claims. Yes or no? That's why
Yes.
you are thinking too much. I don't understand. How many claims?
Five.
Five, right? And again, whenever the user is created, right? Whenever the user is created, right? If you look at this ASP.NET users roles table, that user is assigned with one or more roles. Yes or no?
Yes.
then already we are managing this user and role functionality, and now this role is associated with the claim. That means this claim indirectly associated with the role, or indirectly associated with the user, or not.
Yes. Yes.
So we have two options. One option, directly I can assign the claims to user. That is what we have discussed so far. Second option, I can assign these claims, right? I can assign these claims to roles, and these roles will be assigned to the user. So ultimately, that user is having those claims. So that is another way to implement, or you can say manage claims based on the role. So let us try to understand how we can implement this thing. So currently, if you look at this edit role page, right? So currently, if you look at this edit role page where we are updating the role, we are assigning users to this role, and along with this functionality, what I want to do is now I want to add this role claims section. So role claim section means whichever roles you are already assigned to this, whichever claims you are already assigned to this role, that list will be displayed here. If none, if no claims are assigned, then you can see none at the moment. And once you click on this manage claims button, it will right open this page. And in this page, whatever claims you want to assign to this role, that the role you can assign here. Clear? Similar to the way you are assigning claims to user, right? In the same manner. For example, currently, if you look at this is my right users page, right? So in this page, right, what I'm doing, I'm editing this. So here I'm having this manage claim. So this is what I'm doing here. I'm right assigning these claims to user. So instead of a user, right, what I want to do is I want to assign these roles to the right. What I can say, sorry, these claims to the role. So that functionality is also possible. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Let us proceed and see how we can do this. And once you insert the data is going to be inserted into this ASP.NET role claims table, right? So inside this table, let us proceed and implement this step by step. Clear, guys, what we want to achieve? Yes or no? So first of all, what changes we need to do? So in the edit role page, we need to provide the list of roles. How does the administrator realize how many users are using? He doesn't need to realize. So why he should realize? It is his responsibility to create the user, and right, and which user is going to do what responsibility, that what he needs to manage. And if he doesn't know, then see that admin panel is not a you can consider a simple user, right? As a normal user, you can register. That is functionality is different than the admin panel, right? So those who are working professional, they might be know what is the importance of an admin panel. And whatever discussing right now, this is related to admin panel, not the normal user, right? For example, if you are using Amazon website, so you are logging as a normal user. And this Amazon website having the admin panel where they are managing everything, right? And for them, they know who are the user and what they are going to do, right? That functionality they know. And accordingly, they can decide what the user is going to do in the admin panel, right? So let me go ahead, right? First of all, this is the page where we need to do the changes. That is the edit role page. Now, if you look at this administrator controller, this is my edit role page. And this edit role page, I want to manage the section for the managing the what I can say claims. Then what is the view? The view is edit role view model. So currently it is taking the list of users. So along with this list of users, what I need to pass now, the list of claims which are already assigned to that particular, right? What I can say, assigned to that particular claims, right? So here, and if you want to avoid right the null reference exception, what you can do is you can initialize this with a list of a string. That is also possible, right? So instead of putting this question mark, right, what I can do, I can initialize with some default null values, right? So in this case, so for this particular user, so for this particular role, whatever all users are assigned and whatever all claims are assigned, that list I want to show. So for that purpose, what I have done, like the list of users, I have also added the list of a claim. So for example, whichever the users are already assigned to this role, that list I'm showing here. Similarly, I'm also going to show you whatever the claims that is associated with this role. That list also I want to display. For displaying that list, what I'm doing, I'm creating this property. Clear? Clear or not?
Yes.
Right. So once this is done, right, next what I need to do, next I need to access those list of claims, right? So let us proceed and see how we can access the claims, right? So for this purpose, what I need to do, I need to go to the administrator controller. So this is my administrator controller, right? Edit role. So this is my edit role policy, right? So now you do not need to initialize this because that user initialization, right? We have a handle inside my user view model, right? We are initializing this. So that statement you can remove here. So this is my model where I have specified role ID name description. Here I have added the list of right what the users, and here what I need to do, I need to fetch the all the claims right associated with this role. So get claims async method using the role manager. If I am using the user manager, it is going to I need to pass what? I need to pass the user. As I am using the role manager, I'm going to pass the role. So in this case, what it is exactly going to do, it is going to return me all the associated claims, right? All the claims which are associated with this role. So that list I'm going to get here. And from this list, right, what I'm going to do, whatever the type and value. So there are two things. One is, right, what I can say, whatever the value I'm going to return value or type. So value is fine. So what I'm doing from this list of claims, I'm retrieving all the values and I'm storing those values inside my claims property. So here I have created this property. Inside this property, I'm storing all the associated claims, right? So this is what I have fetched all the claims, and I'm only fetching those values, and that values it's nothing but one list of string. That list of string I'm storing inside this claims, and then I'm passing this model to my view. So once I pass this to my view, so then what I need to do, I need to create a section, right, for displaying this manage claims, right, in my application, right? So all right, that's what I need to do. So next, what I'm going to do, I'm going to modify the view. So modifying the view means I need to add that manage claim section. Let me go ahead. And before the div statement, I need to add another div. So in this case, you can see this is my role claims. If at least one claim is associated, we are looking through that claims collection and display that claim. If no, then none at the moment. And this is my button, right, which is going to manage the claim associated with the a particular user, right? So here you can see this manage claims option is visible. And by clicking on this, you can add claims to the user. Clear, guys? What changes I have done?
Yes.
Okay. Now what I need to do, right? So now what I need to do, I need to create one view model which is going to right store the claim type and the claim. So here you can see this is user claim. So here I'm using claim type and it's selected. Similar to this user claim, right? What I need to do, I need to create a class called a role claim where also it is going to store the claim type and its selected property. Right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a model, right? So I'm going to create a model. That model is going to be my role claim. And inside this model, again, it is going to have two properties. What is that property? The property is claim type and is selected. And then again, what I need to do, I need to create another, right? Similar to this claim type, right? What I can do is okay. So let me go to the administrator controller. So this is my user claims. So here I have created one view model, user claims view model. Similarly, what I need to do, I need to create one view model called roles claim view model for managing the claims associated with the role. So similarly, what I'm doing, I'm going to create one view model called the roles claims view model. So here you can see user ID, username, and the associated claims. Similarly, in this case, what it is going to store, it is going to store role ID, role name, and the associated claims, right? So for that purpose, what I'm doing, I'm creating this roles claims view model, and here I'm going to store this thing, right? So what I'm doing, so please observe. So this is my right? So let me remove these things and let me initialize that with some default value that finds role claims. And here, not only role ID, I'm also going to store the role and name. Right? I don't want to use any, right? What I can say, uh, VBAC. So this is my changes, what I have done. Let me keep these changes here also. Clear, guys, what changes? So first of all, I create the role claim, then I create the role claims view model. And this is the view model which is going to be used inside the view, which is going to manage the role claims. Clear? Clear or not? So this is what we have done so far, right? But here it is related to role, not related to claim. Next, what I need to do, manage role claims, get action method, what I need to create, similar to the, right, manage user role claim. So this is, right, manage user claim. So this is going to manage role claims, right? So this is going to be your, see, in this case, this is manage user claims and this is manage role claims. Here it is taking user ID and here it is taking role ID. Now, if you see, first of all, I need to verify whether the user is valid or not. In the case of a manage user claim. So in this case, what I need to do, I need to check whether this role is valid or not. So that is what I'm doing here. So here you can see this role name I'm storing here. Rather than this, what I can do is I can modify this role name equals to role.name. So that what I can see. I can put here and right, I can remove these things. Clear? So I have done this thing role and I'm storing the role name. And next, what I'm doing here in this case, right, I'm creating the view model, that is user claims view model. And in this case, I need to create the model, that is roles claims view model. I have specified the role ID and role name. And here, then what I'm doing, then here I'm checking existing claims associated with the user. So user manager, I'm passing the user instance. And here, what I need to do, I need to use the role manager and I need to pass this role. So whatever claims associated with this role, that what I'm using, by calling this get claims async method using the role manager class. So in this case, it is going to return me the existing claims. I'm calling the claim store, right, instance get all claims method. So this is going to return me all the claims, right, which are available on for our application. And what I'm doing here, I'm creating an instance of role claim, specifying the time, and then I'm checking whether this claim is already exist in this existing role claims or not. If it exists, we are setting the value to true. And if we are not setting, then default value of each selected is false. And finally, I'm adding this role claims right to my models claims collection. And then I'm passing this view, right, I'm passing this model to the corresponding view. Next, what I need to do, I need to create the view. So go ahead and create the view. This is my view. And this view is also very similar to the view that what we created for managing the claims for a user. In this case, this is claims for a role, right? So let me go ahead. And this is my view. So this is post method, this is action method, right? So here this is fine. But one more thing that is I need to put it here. That is the role ID in the hidden field, right? So here ASP for model dot what I need to pass. I need to pass the role ID. So that is what I need to store in the hidden field. I'm displaying the role name. I'm displaying the claim type, whether this claim is selected or not. And in this case, I'm not getting the date role name from the what I can say view back. Rather than I'm going to use model dot role name. Clear? Model dot role name, right? Then this is the changes what I have done. And again, here you can see submit button and here it is the cancel button. That's fine. Clear, guys? Anything I need to explain here? The same what we have discussed in my right previous example, previous way, the same, but here only difference. Instead of a user ID, we are right working with the role ID. So this is the changes. Let me put the changes here. Right, whatever changes I have done so far, let me modify. So this is my roles claims view model. I have changed this one. Right. Then what I have done, I have also make some changes to this manage role claims view. So let me also put this updated view, right, code in the, right, let me put this updated code here. Clear, guys? What changes we have done so far? We have created one object, claim class, which is going to store the claim type and whether this claim is selected for a given role or not. This is my model, which is storing the role ID, role name, and the associated claims. And each claim might be selected or unselected, right? And this is my action method, which is going to get the claim information based on the role ID. And then this model, it is passing to this view. Here you can see role claims view model. I'm displaying the role name, storing the role ID in the hidden field, and then when the user submit this update button, it will submit the data to the manage role claims post action method of a administrator controller, right? So let us next what we need to understand. We need to understand the post version of the action method, right? So let me go ahead. So this is going to be my post version of the action method. Let me understand. So this is my view model. I'm fetching the role ID from the model. And if the role is exist, that's fine. Not exist, display this error message. Right. Then what I'm doing here, I'm right fetching all the existing role claims. Right. And guys, remember, whenever we are working with the user, we have the flexibility to delete all the user and insert them at once. But whenever we are working with role, that flexibility is not available. Right. That flexibility is not available. So what we need to do, we need to manage this manually. So what I'm doing here, right, you can see this is my existing claims. First of all, I'm retrieving all our existing claims. I'm creating an instance of a claim object. Here you can see whatever the claim type, right, and the same thing. So this is my type and this is my value. So in this case, both the type and value, right, is going to be same. If you look, claim type and claim value, both are going to be same. So the claim type, what I'm getting from the view, right? At the claim time, I'm setting as both the type as well as both for the value, right? Then the same logic I'm setting if the user the claim is selected, and if it is already not there in the right existing claims collection, then what I need to do, I need to add that claim to this right role manager dot add claim async method, and this is my role and this is my claim. If the claim is not selected but it is already exist in my claims collection, right? Then what I need to do, I need to remove that claim. Otherwise, don't do anything and continue, right? The same logic I have implemented here. And finally, right, what I'm doing here, right, I'm just checking whether the all the operations are completed. All right, if not completed, continue. If all the red model items are calculated, right, means if it is less than zero, right, then in that case, right, just go to the edit role page. So let us try to understand whether this is working fine or not. So let me run the application, right? So in this case, I'm going to go to this roles collection, and this is my moderator role. And you can see for this role, I have not assigned anything. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to not going with this moderator. So I'm going with this admin role, right? So let me go ahead and create a new role, super admin. Let me, this is super admin. So create this one. So I have created one super admin. Let me assign few users. So this is info Pranay Kumar. So these two user I have given the super admin access. Okay, let also give this one also. So three users. And to this admin user, I'm going to assign all this create, edit, and uh, everything. So all these roles are assigned. Clear, right? Now, if you
Yes.
manage, you can see this is also possible. So here also you can remove create, and you can see this is deleted. Now you can create this one and it's also working fine. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a user. Let me give this user as super. The username is super. Last name is admin. Super admin. Email is right. Let me give you info3 at the rate .NET tutorial. Password is capital A, B, C, D at the rate 1234, and confirm password is capital A, B, C, D at the rate 1234, and register the user. So now you can see that super admin user must be registered here. This is info, right? This. See, one more thing we can display here in the list of a user, instead of this username, we can also display the first and last name, right? So that it will give more right viewability, right? So what I can do is, so we are having this list of a users page, right? List of a user. Where is the list of a users? This is my list of a user, right? So in this case, right, if you go to the view, right, currently what we are displaying, right, we are displaying the username. So along with this username, right, what I want to do is I want to display, right, that first name and last name also, because that is also we are storing first name, and we also want to display the last name. So this is my first name and a last name. Okay, let me go ahead and run the application one more time. So login is info, right? To go to users. Now you can see that name is also displaying here. So right, for this info one, there is no name is provided. Let me give this name as, right, what is the email info. So let me give this as test. Okay, let me give this as Nina Sharma. Right, so I have given some name. So that name you can also see here. Now fine. So if you look at this, the super admin user is there. So this is my super admin, and currently he doesn't associated with any role. Let me give some role. So to this super admin, I'm giving some role, super admin role I have given, and update this one. Now, right, the claims, I'm not adding any claims to this user. Rather than, if you go to role management and there is a super admin, right, what I can say role, and that super admin role is associated with all the claims, right? So point at what you need to remember, I have created one user with the name super admin, and that super admin I have not assigned any claims, but I have assigned the role user. But and the super admin role, right? If you look at this roles collection, right, the super admin is associated with all these claims. So what it means? It means this super admin user is also associated with all this role. Now, if you look at this table, right, right, ASP.NET, right, what I can say roles claims table, you can see these things. Clear? And if you take this one and go to ASP.NET roles table, then you will see it where ID equals to this one. And this is going to be your super admin role, right? So super admin role is associated with right some three claims, and this super admin role I have provided to one user. Now what it means now, if the super admin login, then as this super admin is logged in, and that super admin is associated with the role super admin. So this user, okay, this user is logged in, and this user is associated with this role, means that role based right, that claim based authentication should work, right? Let me go ahead. And what is the user ID of super admin, guys? So this is my super admin, the last one. So this is my username, right? So what I'm doing here, capital, what is the capital ABCD at the rate 1234 logged in. Now, now you can see this page is not showing. That link is not showing. Why it is not showing? Can anybody tell me? This is not showing because of the authorization. So authorization, see, authorization is there. The authorization saying that the user must have role admin. And currently the user which is logged in, he doesn't have admin role rather than super admin. Now, if you want to make sure that super admin should also access this thing, right? Then what I need to do, I need to also, right, use that one, admin and a super admin. Clear? So with these changes, now let me run the application. So still it is not working. Okay, let me log in one more time to info 3, capital B, C, T, at the rate 1234 and log in. So still it is not showing. Okay, let me do one more thing, right? It might be because of this space, right? It is not working correctly. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove the space from the role name. So let me log in with the info user, give the password as a capital A, B, C, T, at the rate 1234, right? Manage the roles. So this is super admin. So let me give the role name as a super admin. So I'm just removing the space. Super admin role is there. And this super admin role is associated with all these users, right? So that role name is now super admin. So let me go ahead and provide that super admin role here. Now close this one, run the application one more time. Now clear, log in this with the info 3. The password is capital A, B, C, D at the rate 1234 and log in. Still it is not showing because of this space. Okay, right. So why it is not showing? And for that to understand, right, we need to go to the, right, we need to go to the layout page, right? In the layout page, what we have discussed here, user is in role admin, right? As well as we also need to check this condition. User is in role, right, for admin. And here, this is going to be a right the conditional statement that what we need to provide here because right we have also checked the condition in the UI. Clear? This is the reason why this manage roles button is not visible. So with these changes now on the application, now you can see this section is coming. And now if you go to this manage user, you can see add, edit, delete, every button is visible. Why? Because this is associated with the super admin and the super admin is associated right with this right what I can say set of roles, set of claims. Clear?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Yes.
Alright. So this is how you can manage right claim based authentication for your application, right? So this is all about right your claim based or you can say anything is remaining role based claim based authentication. Yes, we have discussed all these things, right? So if you do not have access, then you will get this one, right? So what is right? We have discussed right. We have discussed everything which is related to our authentication. The basic part is covered. Next, what we are going to discuss, we are going to discuss authentication provider, external authentication provider, right? So we'll discuss how we can integrate Google authentication into our application, Facebook authentication into our application, Microsoft authentication into our application, and what is the use of a secret manager, right? So currently, all these things are in the next two sessions, right? Mostly, I'm going to cover this thing, right? What do you mean by Google or open, right? Or people are talking about open authentication, open ID, right? So all these things I'm going to discuss. I'm going to discuss the example using three different approaches. One is Microsoft, Google, and Facebook. Right? Any other thing, once you understand this thing, right, the rest of the things you can also understand. So basically, right, I will, right, tomorrow we are going to have a long duration session, and tomorrow I'm going to cover, right, all these three approaches. Right? I will show you how to integrate, right, all this authentication and how these are going to work. But for now, right, if you guys remember, right? So we are having this database table and whichever table we have discussed so far, let us have a look. So, okay, let me close all. Right, so we have discussed this ASP.NET role claims table. You can see some of the data is there. We have also discussed this ASP.NET roles table. The data is there. ASP.NET user claims table. You can see we have also discussed. Right, ASP.NET user login. We have not yet discussed. This is what we are going to discuss tomorrow. That is, this table is only for the external authentication And this is ASP.NET User Roles Claims Table we have discussed. ASP.NET Claims Table we have discussed. And this ASP.NET User Tokens, this is not we have yet discussed, because this is going to be used whenever we are going to generate some kind of tokens. Tokens in the sense forget password, right? Email verification, right? Mobile number verification. For such kind of functionality, we need to use this table. So out of this seven, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 5 table we have discussed. Two tables one remaining. One table we are going to discuss tomorrow, and the last one we will discuss then. Right. So tomorrow we are going to discuss how to implement external authentication in our right, in our ASP.NET Core application. Right. Three different kind of authentication I'm going to discuss. Right. Clear, guys?
Yes. So, sir, will you teach also like JWT token based
Yes,
authentication?
yes, definitely. Right. JWT, I think you have not yet checked my syllabus, right? So JWT, without JWT, see, you have to remember JWT is different and this is different. This is identity. Identity means what? Main objective of identity is not JWT authentication. Main objective of identity is user management. How you are going to manage the functionality in your application. So it is more related to your right role-based authentication. It is more related to your claim-based authentication. It is more related to how you are going to create the user, how you are going to create the role, how you are going to implement the external authentication, how you are going to provide the forget password, change password, email verification, two-factor authentication, account lockout. Right, this functionality is meant for right your identity. JWT is completely a different story altogether. And if you look at this thing, right, if you look at our course syllabus, then definitely, right, you will find, right, what I can say, JWT authentication. So currently, we are discussing, right, entity framework core is completed. This is a ADO.NET core we have not yet discussed, right? So see, so right, not only JWT, I'm also going to discuss. Currently, you can see if the ASP.NET user stable, the password is stored in hash format, right? So for example, if you want to see the password is stored in hash format, right? If you want to implement the same thing, right? How you can implement means how you are going to store the password in hash format, right? Currently, if you are developing any web API application, the data is transforming in plain text JSON format. So how you can pass the data in encrypted and decrypted format, how to generate the HMAC authentication, how to implement basic authentication, right? How to implement rule-based basic authentication, how to implement a JWT token, how to generate a refresh token using JWT token, how to implement role-based JWT authentication, how you can implement a client validation, right? And how ASP.NET Core identity. So this is not required because, right, this is what we are currently discussing, right? But yes, right, at some point of time I'm also going to discuss how you can consume all these things together means right, so this is not the syllabus where I have provided all the informations, right? So why I'm saying, because right, we are going to discuss. Okay, let me open the new syllabus which I have prepared for the current batch. Right, so this is the new syllabus, and this syllabus also I'm going to cover the new concept which is not available in your syllabus. Right? For example, you can see uh, not NBC part. Right, so this is how to implement the course, rate limiting. This is included, and this is what I'm going to cover in your. Also, I'm going to discuss right how to implement SSO. So in this SSO, I'm going to show you how you can integrate ASP.NET Core Web API, how to integrate JWT authentication, what is your resource server, what is your authentication server, how you can create a different client application. They are going to authenticate themselves using authentication server to get the token, and once the token is get, then how can they access the resource server? And if I'm login with the client application one, if I'm redirecting to client application two, then how I can automatically how I can automatically logged into that application, right? All these things we are going to discuss. right? Even this minimal API concept I'm going to cover, right? This is very interesting. Unit testing is there, some real-time concept, right? Wrapper concept I'm going to introduce. To signal R I'm going to give introduction, right? So these things I'm going to include also in your session. And definitely without JWT, right, you cannot say that you know the security concept. Nowadays JWT is the mandatory thing, and believe me, right, I'm going to discuss JWT in depth, starting how what is JWT, what are the different sections of a JWT, how you can verify the signature, how you can verify the payload, how you can verify the right headers, right? Headers, payload, signature, three sections, right? All these things I'm going to discuss. How to generate the refresh token, right? All everything related to right JWT I'm going to discuss. And that is what, right? Once this part is identity is completed, right? Then I'm going to discuss some concept related to filter, right? Because filter is also very important. And once the filter is completed, right, then I'm going to discuss security, because in our web API we have discussed till this caching concept, right? So caching we have implemented, right? And this is remaining in our right web API security, how to implement, SSO how to implement, web API versioning how to implement, minimal API how to implement, unit testing is how to implement, right? Some of the advanced concept also there, right? And before this right security part, right, one thing is remaining, that is filter. So this is not available in the syllabus, right? Filters is available, but that is available in the right what I can say in the MVC. But this filter concept also I'm going to discuss, right? Filters in ASP.NET Core VBP means what is the authentication filter, what is resource filter, what is action filter, what is exception filter, and what is result filter, right? So these five filters I'm going to discuss when they come into the picture, how they are right working behind the scene. And once that filters concept is completed, then I will discuss the security part. Clear? The
Yes, sir.
security, it will take two sessions. SSO will take one session, right? Versioning will take one session. Minimal API, it will take one session. And the unit testing, it is going to take two sessions. Advanced concept, right? Again, each concept, I will take 2 to 3 sessions, right? So mostly, right, you can consider the main concept is there, right? Related to this, what I can say, identity. And one more thing, I think that is not missed. I think that is missed here. That is the real-time application, right? Development using ADO.NET. So that is not there in this syllabus, right? But that is available in your syllabus. That is what I'm also going to cover, right? I'm going to cover means, right, in your syllabus, right? If you look at this hotel booking application, I'm going to discuss. Git repository, I'm also going to cover, right?
Sir, Git
So the point
repository,
that
can
what you
you,
need, sorry.
sir, Git repository, can you cover with the new that Git AI?
Yes, yes. See, the point what you need to remember, whenever I'm going to discuss the concept, I will discuss with the latest one, not the old one,
Okay, sir. Yes.
right? So this hotel development real-time application, it will take 1 week. The complete, right? Every functionality in depth I'm going to implement, right? Starting from designing the database to implement the APIs and consuming the services. Everything I'm going to discuss in depth. It will take 1 week. And this is the last phase. And this example, what I'm going to discuss, it is based on the ADO, right? Because we have not yet discussed ADO.NET. All the concepts we have discussed so far using Entity Framework Core. But you also need to know, right, how ADO.NET is going to work in real-time application. So this complete right, application I'm going to develop using ADO.NET means ADO.NET using storage procedure. Clear, guys?
Yes.
Right. Anyone having any question, guys? But guys, remember this, right? Identity is the most important one. And after then, whatever sessions are remaining, they are not going to take that much of time. Apart from this, right, hotel management application, which will take at least 1 week. Clear?
Yes, clear.
Right. Anyone having any question?
No, sir. Thank you.
Sir, December a month and it will complete the all the course, sir.
Yes, I'm trying. I'm trying. Right.
Okay,
So
sir. Okay.
by the end of this, right, what I can say month, I'm
Ah,
completing ASP.NET Core identity. And
Oh,
the December month, you can consider, right?
huh.
Whatever the remaining topics are there, I'll
Oh,
try to cover, right?
okay, sir. Okay, thank
That
you.
is fine. So I'm targeting, that is what I'm targeting to complete the syllabus, right, before the end of December. If few things are remaining, right, that what, right, and guys remember from the December 25th, 26th, right, till
Yeah,
the new year, I'm not going to take any sessions,
okay, sir.
right? So that time, we should enjoy, right, with our family, New Year celebration, December 25, and all these things, right? So at that time, you should enjoy with your family. And if anything is remaining, right? But guys, remember what is my right? I never always thought about the time duration, nothing. So whatever the sessions I'm going to take, it should be in depth until and unless whatever sessions I have provided in the syllabus not completed, I'm not going to skip. Right? I'm not going to skip the session. Once every concept is completed in the sense whatever I have provided in your syllabus plus whatever I'm going to provide in the new syllabus, everything I'm trying to complete, right? I'm going to add into this session also, right? So that you should not have any right things right which is left. Even .NET 9 is introduced, and .NET 9 is also right changing the way right the program class configuration is done, right, for the swagger all these things they have removed, they have changed. I will take one session also. I'm going to show you what changes they have made to .NET 9 also. Clear?
Okay,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Anyone having any question, they can ask me. And guys, remember, right, once this session is completed, right, then only you can go for microservices, right? Until and unless your ASP.NET core is not completed, don't join microservices sessions because for microservices, ASP.NET core is very, very important, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, guys.